Hello YouTube, this is my brand new Azub Tricon 26 which I've just recently bought, and I've also bought a SKS rear mudguard, but I've looked on the internet and YouTube to see if I could find a video to show me how to put this on properly, which I've not been able to find. So I thought I would make one myself and share it. Obviously this mudguard is going to go on there like that. Just pan back a bit like that. But one of the issues I'm having is obviously these stays. As you can see them, they're in a V shape, have to go on there like that, and as you can see they are quite large, so they're going to need cutting down to be able to put the plastic clip with this, which goes on the top of the stay like so, and then you can see the gap that goes onto the mudguard. And then obviously clips in to make it secure. So we've got two V shapes, and we've got two of the straight stays as well, and a bag full of clips, plastic clips, rubber bushes, screws, and obviously some Allen key bolts. So over the video, what I'm going to try and do is position the gap underneath the tyre, so it's even all the way round, and attempt to cut these stays all the same distance and put it on properly. Okay. One of the first things I've got to do is there is a screw just there, and that will go through this point. Allen key bolt, which goes into the rear wing arm, which is just where my finger is, and that has to come out and has to go through this hole just there, and then obviously attaches to it. Taken out the small bolt which was in the frame just there, and what I think I'm going to do is put a larger one in, just because the thickness of a couple of washers and the mudguard, so it just, the bolt gives it an extra bit of sort of bite to it. Okay. The bolt with a couple of washers on like so, and I will feed that through the hole like that, and I'm going to put a washer on there. Difficult to do with one hand, but like that, and then obviously that will be screwed into the swing arm. So you can see now that I've attached the bolt down there, and the mudguard is just freely moving around. So to try and make this an even gap between the tyre and the inside of the mudguard, I cut some little timber spaces like that, and I've worked out by a bit of trial and error of how many I'd need to go underneath the mudguard and on top of the tyre. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to tape these blocks to the tyre, and then I know for sure that all the way round will be even. I've used masking tape just to attach these blocks. As you can see, I've done 4 hopefully even spaces attached to the tyre and the wheel. Next, what I'm going to do is put a piece of masking tape around the mudguard and onto the wheel, So as you can see, that's quite stable there now. And I'll do the same process on all 4 of the spacing where the blocks are. So now that I've attached the second lot of tape to make sure that the mudguard doesn't move, and it is central. And the reason why I've gone for such a wide mudguard is that if I choose to change this rear tyre for something which has a little bit more tread, for maybe a bit of gravel riding, or just where the surfaces need a little bit more traction, I've got plenty of space underneath here to be able to accommodate that extra tyre width. So now I've got the mudguard where I want it, it's going to be time to put on the stays. So the holes are down here. So I'm going to try and put this one here with being vertical, and then a single one, which is here, I want to put at an even distance between the vertical one and this one, just so it gets the maximum support. And I'm also going to, because this is such a beautiful piece of aluminium, I'm going to put a piece of rubber spacing just in between so it doesn't mark that. There's the first one, there's the second one, and now what I will do, I will replicate the other side to match this one. As you can see, they are on. Next job will be to put some masking tape on the mudguard where the metal stem goes, and a bit of masking tape on the stem over here. And then what I will do is I'll bend it across like so, mark where it needs to be cut, so then I can put this plastic on there and it will be the right height so you don't see any of the extra bar at the top. So there you go, they are all on, and I'm probably over engineering doing this, but I like things to be right, and if I can get them perfect, then that's what it will be. So now I've got the masking tape on, I'm just going to offer the plastic clip to where it needs to be, like so, and then I will, it's difficult to do this with one hand, push that over, and I will mark where the top of my fingernail is, just underneath the plastic tab, and that should be the place where I need to cut. And I'll do the same on all of the 6 bars. Now the bars are marked, I will take them off and I will cut them on both sides, ready for the clip. So now I've got 2 of the bars cut down, and what you have to do, you've got to kind of feed that, slide that down on the rod, so then it comes down to look like that, and then that will bend nice and easily towards the mudguard, and then you attach a small screw to tighten it all together, just like so, and then it's done. Just be aware though, when you are attaching the bars, that these locations are slightly different to the ones over on the other side, because obviously that one's got a mount for a rear disc and this one doesn't, because obviously the chain set's there, or the rear cassette's there. But yes, just beware that these bits here have to be cut slightly different because of the other side position. Now that all the clips are in place, to keep it secure, you add these little screws, and they go in the holes and they go through the plastic mudguard as well. And there's 6 of those obviously to put on. What I'd also probably suggest doing is piloting the hole first with a very small drill, not to go all the way through, but just to go through the plastic mudguard, just in case it splits or cracks, or at least if you pilot it, you'll hopefully prevent that. There we go. All done and finished. All we need to do now is to take off the masking tape, take the packers out, and it's all completed and ready for the Azub trike to go out in the weather. There we are, all done. Nice and safe, secure, and ready for being out when it rains. Nice and even, central. Get it positioned right. So yeah, all good.